CRF300L, DRZ400, and CRF450L. All are proven bikes, all are great machines, and honestly, you can't go wrong with any of them. However, there are small differences between them that make them better than each other on certain areas, like single track, the harder enduro trails, comfort, ergonomics, faster riding, and similar outcomes. So why am I making this video? Well, for one, I get a lot of comments on which one should I get. Should I get the DRZ400? Should I get the CRF450L? Or just the basic CRF300L and call it good? I also see these types of questions on Facebook on certain groups, so I figured, hey, why not talk about these three machines and just have some fun with it.
This is tough on a DRZ400.
And I hate to be so blunt and straightforward, but any of the three bikes is a good choice for all your basic trail rides. All three can handle single track, basic harder enduro trails, and tarmac. But let's go ahead and start with the minor differences of these three machines. Now I've ridden all three, however I never ridden the CRF450RL, the new one, just the older L version, so this video will reflect that. In this video, I will go over 4 categories: speed, handling and aggression, pricing and ease of use. Now this will reflect my riding style, my state in Colorado, and my current skill level, which is just an average Joe with some basic hard enduro in the mix out in Colorado. So keep in mind, I do favor trail hopping with more aggressive off-roading in mind. Let's go over the very first topic, speed, which almost goes hand in hand with comfort, of course, but yet they are kind of separate, if you will. When it comes to speed, I like to think there are 3 different variables. You have tarmac speed, trail speed, and fast forest roads and county road speeds. Without a doubt, the DRZ400 is the best all around in this category due to its weight, power, and gearing. When it comes to average city street cruising, that is 65 miles per hour and less, due to its weight, stiffer suspension, power, I honestly prefer the DRZ400 on open forest road trails and faster going flowy trails because of its weight. Not to mention back city roads. But when the going gets rough and you start venturing into single track, and that is more of your territory, the CRF450L definitely shines with its nimbleness, aggressive suspension, and more comfortable ergonomics for more aggressive terrain.
After doing that single track, hopefully you guys can hear me, but if you're hopping on the road like this, sure, with 2-stroke you can do it. It's not comfortable, but we're only doing it for a very little amount of time.
So where exactly does the CRF300L shine in? The CRF300L is a clear winner if you're not looking for speed. You are more for exploring, riding slow, and just in it for the scenery, which 50% of the times, that's how I love riding. It's incredibly soft, it's plush, suspension make it very comfortable when sitting and just enjoying the ride.
All this neighborhood right here, all of this over here used to be dirt. That lake in there to the left, all that was dirt. You were able to go in there, no houses here, because all these are brand new.
And if I'm in it for a long day's ride with no aggression, the CRF300L is the perfect companion for putting through the trails. Which brings me to my second topic, handling and aggression. With all 3 bikes being almost the same weight with a few pounds in difference, you can really feel the nimbleness and hits when the trail gets tighter, rougher, and of course, single track. Without a doubt, all 3 can do single track just fine. But when you would like to venture out into more aggressive, difficult single track, you need more of an aggressive bike, yet something with nimbleness. Now this is going to sound crazy, as we all know the CRF450L is the clear winner when it comes to more aggressive, tighter trails. But there was one flaw with the CRF450L. It would flame out at very low speeds, regardless of clutching, versus the CRF300L. And to be honest, I felt I was able to go slower and have more control with the CRF300L, believe it or not. But from what I've heard, the RL version fixed this, and of course, there are aftermarket parts. But keep in mind, more money. Now at higher speeds with more aggressive hits on the gnarly trails, hands down, I preferred the CRF450L. Of course, if you are able to bypass that flame out issue with a new ECU. But with that being said, although the CRF300L has way softer suspension than the DRZ400, it's crazy to say that I felt more confident and more nimble on the CRF300L versus the DRZ400. So I felt when it comes to the more aggressive single track, the CRF450L is first place, the CRF300L is second place, and DRZ400 got last on the tighter, harsher single tracks. Of course, when forest roads and trails opened up, everything changed. The DRZ400 was my preferred machine, hands down.
Alright, so out here, Independence Trail, I'm really nervous about bringing this bike. Jesus, it's definitely a different feeling.
Because of its weight, power, the DRZ400 felt way more stable when going over 40 to 50 miles per hour on the open trails and forest roads. The best way I could explain this is I've taken my two-stroke on open forest roads, and to be honest, I hate it with a passion. Just because it's a two-stroke does not mean it does well on the fast-going trails. And this is where I would rather have the DRZ400 hands down.
So much fun. Man, you can just rip on this thing.
And not to mention more fun. However, one of the biggest variables we can talk about is pricing. At this point of time, you can find a DRZ400 and CRF300L pretty cheap if used. While the CRF450L, you might need to wait just a little while so you don't have to cough up $10,000 in cash or more if you finance with interest. You can find a DRZ400 used for about $4,000, while a CRF300L possibly on average $5,500. So for the price, they are both great machines. You really have to pick your poison. For 1.5K more on average, you get a 6-speed, softer suspension, and to be honest, I favored the CRF300L on more tighter, tougher trails than the DRZ400. It just felt more modern, more confident, inspiring, and more nimble than the DRZ400. The DRZ400, as many will say, feels like a pig on the harsher stuff.
And this is labeled green. Wow. No.
So if you find yourself on more technical, slower, tougher terrain, a CRF300L, in my opinion, would be way better if on a budget, while the DRZ400 would definitely be favored on more faster, high-going trails and county roads. The weight of the DRZ400 does add more stability when hitting faster-going dirt roads and forest trails, with barely any roughness. Not to mention, suspensions are a little bit more firm, a little bit more better than the CRF300L at speed. And finally, the good old topic, which is more reliable. Now this is a tough call, a very tough call, mostly because I've seen many CRF250s with around 100,000 miles. And no, I'm not kidding you, 100,000 miles. Not many, but I've seen them. However, things do break at times, and without a doubt, the DRZ400 has a lot less parts. More parts available, more user-friendly, and I would say parts are a lot cheaper on the DRZ400 as it is. Now the CRF300L is still new, but it has a lot more electronics. Of course, you have that ECU, fuel injection, more tighter spaces, you can say a pain. And don't get me started with the CRF450L. Sure, it's reliable. I can't really find much issues on any of the Honda bikes for that matter. After all, it is a Honda. But if you're looking for a poor man's bike that can do it all, the DRZ400 without a doubt is the clear winner. So what exactly do I have to say between them all? I would say if your emphasis is more into really aggressive, harsher riding, but need to tackle highway to trail hop to the next single track or extremely rocky trails at speed, and of course, like I said, love doing these trails at speeds, the CRF450L is definitely the clear winner. Wow, if you also would love to tackle the same aggressive trails and aggressive single tracks, however just at a much lower speed, yet you're only interested in comfort and just enjoying the scenery, you'd like to sit down a lot, and really being aggressive is not your thing, the CRF300L, without a doubt, is way more comfortable than the CRF450L. If you're looking at high speed, power, and mostly ride on open roads, open trails, flowy single track, just overall love to act like a hooligan, the DRZ400 feels much more stable when hitting those fast going forest roads and county roads at speed. Anyhow guys, let me know what you guys think. Which bike is the winner? Which one do you prefer and why? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell button. That way you can check out some of our Colorado trails. And I'll catch you guys on the next video.